question is for Cassie. It's regarding the show. How involved were you with the casting and the plot itself?
I was actually really involved with the casting from the beginning. They sent me all the audition tapes for all these people here, and I got to vote in. And it's a process of a bunch of people. Like, I think often people don't realize how many people are involved in something like casting. But they would send me like sort of their top picks or whatever, and I would look through them and I would vote for them. I'm happy to say that I got all of my favorites, so it worked out well for me. And some of them were more complicated than others, I think.
Wasn't he for Magnus first?
That one? Yeah, not that I remember.
Well, I auditioned for Alex, so...
Yes, and I was like, a little short for Alex. Actually, Matthew auditioned for James. And we couldn't find an Alec, and they kept sending me these Alecs, and I was like, none of these are Alec, I hate them. And then I was like literally up one night, super like bored, and also being like, we don't have an Alec. And I went and I had access to the casting server, so I went into it and I watched all the Jace auditions, like all of them. And I found Matthew, and I was like, yeah, that's Alec. Like, what's Alec doing in the Jace section? The mistake has been made. And I called them, and I didn't actually think that I was going to get anywhere, but I was like, Matthew Daddario, like, what about him? And they were like, oh, yeah, all right, we'll fly him out. And they cast him, and I was like, that was shocking. And I just remember getting a text from the casting director about Harry that was like, Harry Shum, ? And I wrote back, Harry Shum, ! So I was involved with the casting, but not with the plotting or the story or anything like that. You have to be a member of the Writers Guild. It's kind of a complicated legal thing to actually like touch screenplays or be involved in story and that kind of thing. So I had a meeting with the showrunner and the rest of the writers at the very beginning of things. They kind of gave me a sense of what they were going to do, but beyond that, I was as surprised as I watched as everybody else is. Though I have seen the rest of the season, and I can spoil you, but I won't because
We haven't.
then I know. No, look, I would be shot by the Disney Corporation. I'm not going to say it. But it does end on a great tracking shot.
That it does. That it does.
Hi, Cassie. Oh my God, I love your book so much.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask, because throughout Mortal Instruments, you have a lot of biblical references. So I just was wondering, did you actually go to the Bible to find out some of the facts or that you put in? Because a lot of them are actually like, well, historical as far as the Bible is concerned. But I just was curious about that.
Well, I mean, I have read the Bible, the whole Bible, and I've always been fascinated with it. And so I think that since the book is rooted in this sort of Judeo-Christian mythology of angels and demons, and also I feel like the Mortal Instruments itself is very specifically a story about free will, and what does free will mean, and we have these people who are half angel, and yet they don't know. They don't have the answers. They don't know what happens after you die. They don't know if God exists. They don't know if there's heaven. Jace doesn't even believe in angels at the beginning of the book. And so it was important to me to go to, the root of all of that mythology, which is the Bible, and, kind of seek out what in there had to do with the Nephilim, what they believe, what kind of purpose they might have. And I don't think the book purports to give, any answers, because I don't know any answers, but there's a lot of, wisdom and and fascination to be found in the Bible, and so, yes. And also I like the King James Bible. It's just incredibly beautifully written. It's a beautiful piece of literature, nothing else.
Hi, I have a question about Emeraude. I was just wondering how you do all those amazing stunts in high heels.
I asked my question that. I asked that question to myself, and I don't know how I do it. I mean, I guess women, we're superheroes, right? We just can do everything. And the cat also does everything in heels, and do you know how you do it?
just keep moving forward and try not to go down.
Yeah, I mean, I danced. I had a lot of dance training when I was young, so I guess that kind of helps with the balance. I'm always wearing heels, but yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It just happens.
Okay, we have 5 more questions.
Ooh, okay.
Okay? All right. Right there, yes.
The bad voice.
I'm gonna have to pass this. You guys gotta help me out.
Hi, Cassandra. It's me. What made you continue the moral instruments after City of Glass?
I had always planned to continue the story, but I had planned to continue it as Simon's story, actually, and write a sort of spin-off about Simon. And I'd even written a whole proposal and sort of outline for it, but the other characters kept edging into the story and taking up big chunks of it. And as I was writing, I think I was with Holly in Mexico, and I was trying to write this thing, and I was trying to write this thing, and I was trying to write it, and I was like, this isn't the story. Like, the story is about all of them. It's not just about Simon. And so I think with Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, I finally did get to tell the story that's just about Simon that I wanted to tell, but I did it was a process of realizing that the story that I had conceived of was too limited to be like that just being about Simon limited it too much. I was too much interested in what happened to Izzy and Clary and Jace and Alec and Magnus to let it go like that. So that's why I continued.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are pieces of that in a bunch of different things, because in that there was a bunch of LA stuff too.
Right, I actually had Simon moving to LA, and it had a lottery, and I busted up the pieces of that story and sort of like turned around and used them as a lot of the backbone of Dark Artifices. So everything old is new again.
Okay, 4. Yes.
Hi everyone. Cassie, I love your books, as everyone here. I'm from Brazil. And I came all the way here to see you guys.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah. My question is, everyone loves all the Mortal Instruments characters a lot. And I know we're going to see a little bit of some of the characters in Lady Midnight. Can we expect to see more of them on the other in this series and the other series that you're planning to do?
Yeah, I don't think the Mortal Instruments characters don't really leave the story. You do see several of them in Lady Midnight, and then the ones you don't see in Lady Midnight, you'll see in the next book and the book after that, because we check back in with them, and they're friends with the characters in Dark Artifices. And then Wicked Powers, which is the last series, kind of brings everybody together. It's kind of everybody from Dark Artifices, everybody from Mortal Instruments, surviving people from Infernal Devices, and it sort of brings everybody together to fight a larger evil.
Okay,
There's always a larger
3.
evil. This one's just taller.
So, I don't like reading on my phone, so I was wondering, when will the Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy be coming out in book form?
November 15th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Go, Holly, go.
2. Yes.
Hi, my name is Sogol, and I was wondering, why are the Herondales afraid of ducks?
That's the question we've all been wondering, Cassie.
I hope that if there's a second season, there's a duck on the TV show. We would like to see that. Would we like to see that? Definitely at least one duck. The Herondales are afraid of ducks because of me. I was in England and I was researching for the Infernal Devices, and I was with my friend Sarah Reese Brennan, who is a co-writer of mine for Bane Chronicles and Tales from Shadowhunter Academy. We had gone and gotten some English game pies, and I was in Hyde Park just trying to get a sense of the geography, and we had eaten a little bit, we had some left over, we were feeding the ducks. And at some point Sarah grabbed my arm and she was like, these are duck pies, we're feeding ducks to ducks. And we were like, oh, that's disgusting, right? These are cannibal ducks. Okay. And so we were like, well, we can't feed them anymore, so we put the food away and we were leaving, but the ducks knew we still had food, so they chased us out of the park and they bit us. And ever since then, I have had a thing against ducks, and therefore the Herondales have a thing against ducks. It reflects my own feelings. expect there to be a real story there for me.
Last question. Someone from the back.
Okay.
Here you are.
Hi.
Hi.
I really wanted to say that I really love your book so much, and Emeraude, I love you. And my question is, considering it's International Women's Day, who are some inspirational women in each of your guys' lives, since there's a lot of like badass women in these books?
Mine is my mom. She inspires me every day. So that's right.
So many. My mother, my grandmother, these two ladies right here. So many amazing women.
I'd say everyone on this panel, my mother, my 5 sisters, my daughter. Yeah. But most importantly, because I'm a comic book fan, if you came to my house, you'd see this hallway that I have is dedicated to Katherine. Because she's just a total badass.
I would say my mother, who is actually here today. My mother's a big inspiration. She read to me when I was a kid. Every night before I went to sleep, she would read from a book, and that fueled my lifelong love of books and my desire to become an author. And I would also say Jane Austen, one of my big literary heroes, was a woman writer at a time when it was really hard to be a woman writer, and she, because her family didn't, was like, whatever, Jane, with your writing, your weird thing that you're doing, wrote on 2 chairs pushed together in her living room, because they wouldn't give her a desk, and so always been an inspiration.
Oh yes, maybe it's my mom, of course, and my mom's mom, and her mom, and the mom before that, and I don't know. No, for real, I think all the moms out there, I just want to give a shout out to, and I wish it could be my mom too. And my wife.
Thank you. Yes.